Hello once human survivor, welcome back to Lunar World. Today I will share how to speed run in Lunar State and how to get Deviation Lunars 5x5 and tips guide how to get Lunar Whisper constantly by wook cutting. How to get legendary boxes for Lunar mods. It sounds like you're asking about Lunar Deviations and Lunar Whisper in a game, but I need to clarify which game you're referring to. Lunar themes can show up in a variety of titles, such as Warframe, Destiny 2, or other RPGs with lunar content. Could you specify which game you're talking about? That way, I can give you more tailored tips. You're referring to Once Human, a survival RPG with lunar and deviation mechanics. Let me break down your questions and give you some advice. Best loot farming suffix boxes. Suffix boxes contain various loot with different suffixes and can be a great way to farm good items in Once Human. Here are a few tips to maximize your loot farming. Farm high-level areas. Focus on farming areas with tougher enemies and higher chances too. Drop high-quality loot. These places usually have a higher chance of dropping suffix boxes, especially if you're after specific suffixes for building your gear. Target boss fights. Bosses often drop a lot of loot, including suffix boxes. Completing these fights with high efficiency will give you the best chances of scoring valuable loot. Increase loot luck. Some gear and buffs increase your loot drop rate or your chances of getting higher tier loot. Keep an eye on any buffs or gear that increases drop chances for suffixes or chests. Use resource boosters. Use boosters, like those that increase your loot chances or resource drop rates during your runs to maximize the effectiveness of your farming. Use resource boosters. Use boosters, like those that increase your loot chances or resource drop rates during your runs to maximize the effectiveness of your farming. How to get 5x5 deviations. The 5x5 inches deviations likely refer to rare or high-tier deviations, which can be quite valuable for enhancing your character. To get these high-level events and challenges, participate in events and challenges that reward you with deviation items. These are usually harder end-game content but offer the best rewards. Daily, weekly tasks. Check if there are repeatable or timed tasks in your log that offer deviations as rewards. Loot drops from strong enemies and bosses. Many deviations drop from challenging enemies or bosses. Focus on defeating these more difficult encounters. Upgrade your gear and stats. As you level up and improve your gear, your chances of obtaining higher tier deviations will improve. Best build for Lunar State. To perform well in the Lunar State, you'll want to build a character with a focus on both survivability and damage output. Since the Lunar State offers strong buffs but can be risky, here's a general approach. Loot drops from strong enemies and bosses. Many deviations drop from challenging enemies or bosses. Focus on defeating these more difficult encounters. Upgrade your gear and stats. As you level up and improve your gear, your chances of obtaining higher tier deviations will improve. Best build for Lunar State. Best build for Lunar State. To perform well in the Lunar State, you'll want to build a character with a focus on both survivability and damage output, since the Lunar State offers strong buffs but can be risky. Here's a general approach. Focus on energy or lunar affinity. Builds that enhance your energy regeneration or lunar affinity will help you stay in the Lunar State longer and benefit from its bonuses. Mobility and CC. Lunar State can make you more aggressive, so having mobility and crowd control CC in your build can help you avoid damage while dealing with large groups of enemies or bosses. Optimize for resource management. You'll want to manage your energy and Lunar State effectively. Choose gear that increases your resource regeneration and energy management to maximize uptime in Lunar State. Do any of these tips resonate with what you were aiming for, or would you like more detail on a specific part of the build or strategy?